get you the compensation and the money you deserve for your injuries. And if there's no recovery, there's no fees charged to you. I'm attorney Daniel Woodbury. I know how to fight truck companies. Call me 800-325-1454 for your free consultation. 800-325-1454.
KCAA, where every day is a great...
The doctor is in. Welcome to the Psychic Love Doctor Show with host Deborah Lee. Deborah has been practicing, teaching, and perfecting the personal prophecy card reading method for 20 plus years. This life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. This inspiring show will help you never feel helpless in life or love ever again. Now, here's your host, Deborah Lee.
Okay.
Hello and happy Friday, everyone. I'm Deborah Lee, and I'm here joined by my fabulous co-host, who is also my assistant.
Yay.
This would be Lauren, and we love having Lauren join us. And I hope you all are enjoying us too, now that it's Friday and time for the Psychic Love Doctor Show. For those of you who are new and just joining us for the very first time, what we do here is we conduct readings using ordinary playing cards. This method is called personal prophecy, which I learned from my grandmother well over 35 years ago. And I'll tell you, it has been a real life changer, not only for those I give readings to, who are in essence able to perceive the future that lies ahead and able to improve it before they even get there, with I personally think is a highly empowering, very dynamic way to be able to navigate your life. But it's also extremely useful to yourself if you choose to learn it. And I know, Lauren, you have picked up the personal prophecy method. I just wanted to mention that this is not a gift. I am a firm believer that what we are working with is our own intuitive ability. It's a skill using that innate ability, which is intuitive perception. So with that said, I hope if you're joining us today, you'll consider giving us a call. It would be our pleasure to give you a reading while we're on the air. And that number would be
909-792-5222.
And that would be the hubster. Daryl is behind the technology, helping us so that we are simultaneously live on Facebook. So if you turn to the Psychic Love Doctor Show page, you're going to see us, voila, right in front of you.
Hey.
So I don't know about you, but this has really been one heck of a chaotic and rather, what would you call it? What's a good word, Lauren? It's been hectic.
It's been like a Murphy's Law. Like everything that could possibly go wrong this week has really gone wrong.
And isn't that really the truth? There's almost an irony to it.
It is. I think every week feels like that until we get ready to do the show, though. Then everything kind of comes together.
It's so true. As we are broadcasting to you today, we're coming to you live from Virginia Beach, Virginia, where our studio is at the fabulous Healing Fountain in Virginia Beach. We hope that you will give us a call. Love.
That's right.
We also handle your career, love life, sure, your friends, family, co-workers, your hopes, dreams, wishes, you name it, and we've got you covered.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, is that a pretty good segue?
Yes, that is a fantastic segue.
Lauren has a special feature that she's kicking off tonight.
Yes. So we received a very interesting, very, I don't know, it's just very
heartfelt.
Heartfelt letter today from what appears to be a doctor, and we wanted to share it with you, and we hope that he's listening to the reading. He said I'm gonna just go ahead. Should I just go ahead and read the letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this, by the way, is a new feature. Feel free. We'll give you information at the end of the show. If you're not a person who wants to call in per se to be heard around the world during the show, you can use this feature. It's called Dear Deborah, and it will be your way to reach us with your own personal situation.
Absolutely. Okay. Are you ready, Deborah?
I am so ready.
All right. Our listener says, Dear Deborah, my name is Tristan, and I'm from South Carolina. I've been listening to your show for about a year now and must admit previously, being a skeptic of mediums and psychics growing up in a conservative home, you have changed my mind completely.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yes.
I love that.
He says, after stumbling on your program after a long shift in the ER, an ER doctor, all right.
Ooh.
He's like Dr. McSteamy, let's see. I found myself completely engaged in your show and it's been a guilty pleasure of mine ever since. You've been his guilty pleasure.
Ooh, kind of like that.
He says, I truly believe you have a gift and have profoundly touched the lives of your listeners, and am wondering now if you might be able to help me.
Well, I certainly hope so.
When I was just 17 years old, working in my father's car repair shop, the most beautiful girl I ever saw stopped in for an oil change and by some miracle agreed to go on a date with me. Oh, this is so sweet.
It is.
After sharing an ice cream sundae in a small diner in my hometown, we dated through our senior year of high school, through college, my medical school and residency, and then married and had our beautiful son, Noah. My wife was truly my best friend, my biggest supporter, and besides our child, the best thing that ever happened to me. 3 years ago, on a sunny Monday afternoon in June, while I was working a particularly hectic shift at the hospital, a drunk driver rear-ended her while she was driving our son home from the park, killing her and leaving me a widowed single father at just 31 years old. Oh, God.
Oh, gosh, I could cry.
My life will never be the same. For the past few years, I have grieved and worked and done the best I feel that I could with the help of my father and the love of my son. Lately, however, I have been feeling guilty because I have at times thought of dating, and I simply do not know if I should or not. I don't know how she would feel. So, Deborah, what I'm asking you is this. Do you think my wife would be okay with me trying to find love again? Would she understand? I don't know if it's even possible, but if you can somehow reach out to her, it would be comforting to know somehow. Your faithful listener, Tristan E.
Well, thank you so much, Tristan. And I think it took a lot of courage to even send that letter. So I want you to know I appreciate it very much. Now, as Lauren was reading this letter, I took the liberty of laying out the cards. I'd like all of you to know I'm not using just a 1 or 2 quickie, draw to answer questions. I'm using the whole 24 card layout that I use in my regular practice as an intuitive life coach. So I'm able to see the entire playing field and whatever might be drawbacks, obstacles, or moments of joy and the essence of your true being, I guess you could say, which is so evident in readings of this nature. First off, would you reiterate that final question?
Yes. Tristan wants to know, he wants to know if you can somehow reach out to her, his deceased wife, and know if you feel like she's okay with him moving forward, if it's okay with you if he tries to date again.
Well, right off the top, I've got to tell you, Tristan, and those who are listening, whenever we lose a loved one, really, they do move on to an afterlife that is a place filled with love, with happiness, with healing. And I definitely see this for your wife. That woman's spirit is so close to you. Now, here's the thing, though. I am also picking up that it basically breaks her heart that you are so alone. She never would have wanted this for you. Her hope, her wish, and her desire is that you will find yourself a new love, a new partner, a new soulmate, if you will. And that would be truly, from her way of thinking, that would be a gift that you are giving yourself, Tristan, not anything that you are taking away from her or her memory or the marriage that you shared. Now, I am picking up on something here that's a little bit different, a little bit on the odd side.
Okay.
It's a scar of some sort.
Oh, wow.
Now, if Tristan, if you were on the line right now, I'd be saying to you, what significance does this scar have? And I see little wisps and little pieces of it, but I think actually you're going to have to write again and tell us, because this scar seems highly significant in terms of me validating myself to him and the reading process. But one thing you can have as a takeaway right now, this minute, Tristan, is that your wife has literally a hand on your shoulder. She wants you to find every kind of happiness that is possible for you in this lifetime. You know, our spirit people really do want us to be happy.
Aww.
They stay very close to us. They try very hard to guide us. And she wants you to think of that scar, share with us the significance, and we will take you further. Further into your future and what lies ahead.
Oh my gosh.
I know,
feel like I have goosebumps. That's crazy.
I have a really wonderful feeling that this man is getting the confirmation that he needs, and that he is actually going to find the kind of love that he has been missing since her passing.
Tristan, are you looking for like a 32-year-old like hairdresser from Norfolk, Virginia? I'm here.
We have one. She's ready to go.
That is amazing.
Well, thanks to Tristan and others. If you wish, you can certainly drop us a line either on our Facebook Psychic Love Doctor Show page. We actually have a button that you would be able to contact us, or you can always email me directly at Deborah, and that's the long Deborah, DEBORAH, at psychiclovedoctor.com.
Aww.
Well, I see we have somebody waiting in the wings.
All right. We have Gail from Florida. What can we help you with today, Gail?
Right now I'm in a situation where my friend, a client, is 90 years old, just shifted out to California, and she really needs to pass. She's in great, great pain, and she's afraid. She's so afraid. I'm just wondering if, can she pass tonight? Will she pass tonight? She can't live like this any longer.
Did you say this is your friend?
A friend and a client. I'm an accountant, and she's been my client for about 12 years.
Well, it sounds like you have quite a guiding energy within your heart toward her. I'm getting the sense that you are practically a daughter to her.
Yeah.
So it would definitely make sense for you to care this much about her. Now, you'll have to give me a minute, but Lauren will talk with you. While I lay out these cards, looking at things in reference to this friend. And did you say she's afraid of passing away, of going to the other level?
She keeps yelling out, I'm scared, I'm scared. And that's all she can say. And she's in California, and I'm in Florida.
I know, and I can hear it in your voice. Gail, this is very hard for you, too. So let's see if we can find some comfort for you and maybe put out some positive, loving energy towards your friend who needs to go and be received by her loved ones who have already passed on. You know they're going to be waiting for her, and that fear will pass in an instant. But I will look at the cards right now.
So, Gail, I think it's amazing today. Sometimes it can be hard to develop quality relationships, but it sounds like you had an amazing relationship with this woman, and great friendship and a bond. I was wondering if you could share with us, one of your favorite memories about this person.
Oh, what a great idea, Lauren.
She was an extremely colorful person, way ahead of her time, or she is an extremely colorful person. She brought joy, but she also had, a lot of hardship in her life. She could have been my second mother.
Aww.
And I feel so helpless, and I want her to pass because I don't want her to suffer. And I know she's afraid. I just, I don't know what I'm looking for here. I guess,
Let me ask you, Gail. She's in California. What is the reason for her? Is that where she lives?
no, her children moved to her about a year ago when she was getting a little ill and took her away under protest. And she's really gone downhill since then. I mean, she's at the point now where, she can't move. She can't do anything. She's in a nursing home and in hospice.
Well, hospice, I'm seeing in the cards, is truly the key for her at this point. If she would only just stop putting up so much resistance, those people that work in hospice are the near equivalent of angels. They truly know how to help, us pass over, because it is seeming like a really scary journey, and yet it's as simple as walking through a doorway. I do feel that it isn't going to be long. She's putting up one heck of a fight, though. This woman is leaving this life kicking and screaming in her spirit. And
Yeah.
what I think it is not so much about her children, but she truly does, care for them. But it's about the mission she had during her life to touch the lives of as many people as she could. She may not even have been consciously aware of this, but it truly was a calling on her heart. What she needs to know, though, and hopefully in her spirit she will understand very, very soon, that she can continue her work on the other side. She can take this beautiful heart of hers, and it will be so healing to others who, say, tragically pass away during an accident. Some of these people are lost and feel so alone and so, I'm trying to think of the word, like in desperation. Let's put it this way, she's got a lot of good work to do on the other side. And whenever the time comes, which I feel for you, hon, is far, far in the future, she's going to be waiting right there for you in the light. You will definitely see her again. But as I say, she's putting up a fight right now. What I feel is going to start to come into her is she's going to start hallucinating. And this is actually a sign that her spirit is starting to pass over, that she's starting to leave the earthly plane. Some people will think they're fishing. Mm-hmm. They will think they're talking to an uncle they haven't, seen or heard from in years and years. Because, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When she starts this process, this will be her coming home.
Well, what you said made a lot of sense, because when my mother, the night that she passed, she kept saying, "What's that door? What's that door?"
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was her actually preparing for the passage from her physical form to her new spiritual home. And there is life beyond, the grave. I find it so humorous that some people are so short-sighted that they think this is all there is. Right. Oh, no, there's so much more. And she's going to actually be pain-free. She's going to be joyful. I am seeing her right now intuitively, literally dancing. She's like dancing in a field full of flowers once she sees how fabulous her afterlife is going to be. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's a great card reading from you, and I think that's fantastic. And yeah, my grandfather definitely did start those hallucinations before he passed. But I just wanted to commend Gail, because I think in life we don't really know people who are truly there for us, and she's had this experience of having a true friend who really cares about her till the end, and I think you should be commended for giving her that experience, and I think that's really important.
Well, what I also feel, Lauren, is that Gail and this lovely lady have shared many other lifetimes, and there is a true kindred,
like a kinship,
between them.
That's so funny. There's so many years difference between us, and we just always bonded. We just liked each other so much.
Oh, you've had many, many different relationships in the past, lives that you've shared. And this one, my perception has been the culmination of them all. This has been the greatest reconnection for both of you on the spiritual level. So I am so glad you called us. This is a wonderful first reading for our show, and I hope that we've given you some comfort that it will not be long. It will not be long, but it's in her fighting spirit. This lady isn't going to go any other way, but she is definitely, I feel you will hear very, very soon that she has passed over.
Well, thank you so much, and God bless.
Oh, thank you so much, and take care. Remember, we're here. Please feel free to turn to us at any time when we're doing our shows.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Have a good night, Gail.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, you too.
This is the thing. I also want to let everybody know that I don't have a jacked up price on my readings. And the reason for that is because it's not a one-shot deal. It's not like going and getting your horoscope done and that's it, you're done.
Right.
This is a thing where every reading builds on the reading before. And because we are all beings who have the ability to use our own free will, there is a lot of fluctuation. There is change that occurs literally on a daily basis in our lives. But there are certain events, certain life moments that you could say destiny has compelled us to experience them within our lifetime. So
I think that's amazing. I was going to ask you, since we don't have a caller in the line right now, were there moments when you first started doing this that, you were shocked before, you really started doing it a lot, like by the information that you were seeing it come true? Was there, would you say, is there any single or a couple moments that you really realized that you had this gift and that, even though you say it's not a gift, it really is. So was there a moment that you can share with us that really surprised you?
I would say after my grandmother had taught me for about 4 months, I had a call from a neighbor who said, you need to come over. There's a couple sitting here who really need you to read your cards for them. And I was in this rather flamboyant stage, and, I was like, a big shot card reader. So I went over, and their situation was that they had given birth to a baby girl approximately 18 months to 2 years before they were sitting on that sofa. She had been born with so many congenital heart issues and problems that the child had had about 6 operations.
Oh my gosh.
They had been advised, please do not have another biological child after they went through some. Hold on for a minute. Let's do a station ID and then we'll come right back and I'll pick it right back up.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
As I was saying, this young couple were told after genetic testing, do not have another biological child. Well, as fate would have it, they were sitting there on the sofa. The wife was 9 weeks pregnant, and they were having a therapeutic abortion was to be performed within about 5 days later.
Oh, wow.
Well, they wanted me to lay out the cards and literally tell them if they should go through with this abortion or not.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, like I said, at the time I was full of myself, and I said, sure, we can do this. I laid out the cards, and I said, no, do not. You're going to give birth to another little girl, and this one is going to be 100% normal. I have to tell you, folks, the good Lord had to have been with me. There was divine intervention during that reading because they did cancel the termination of their pregnancy, and she did give birth to a perfectly normal baby girl.
That is amazing.
Who is a woman out there to this day who may very likely already be a grandmother,
wow.
who's had children of her own, and consider she owes her entire life to an ordinary deck of playing cards.
That's amazing. Isn't that incredible? Like, do you realize how incredible it is?
No, because it blows my mind too. I mean, I'm very humble now. I mean, before I was full of myself, but I'm very humble now about it because I do feel that there is some sort and those of us who are in the business of mediumship, psychic readings, all the various modalities that are out there metaphysically, when we truly have our heart in the work that we do, this is when I feel we are experiencing divine light, that we've been sent into the world as light workers, that we are in the world, but not always necessarily of the world. So that's a mind-blowing experience. The other experience that really swept me away was perceiving the entire rescue of Jessica Lynch back in 2003, I think it was.
Oh my gosh.
When she was taken as a POW, and I laid it out for Daryl. I said, oh my goodness, it's like a Hollywood movie. The helicopters are swooping in, and there's a man from Iraq, and he's going to walk to our troops like miles to tell them about this poor girl who is literally being restrained in a hospital bed. And here's the thing. My perception of that whole situation of Jessica Lynch was the bad guys, their motive was that they wanted the doctors to cut her legs off. They wanted to prop her up in the middle of Baghdad and make her a nickel prostitute so that all of their countrymen could give it right back to the United States. And it was devastating. But I said, Daryl, they're going to find her and she's going to be saved. And what was it, Daryl? 3 days later, that's when he came and he said, you better sit down and watch this TV. I nearly passed out.
That's amazing. Daryl, what like were you amazed? I mean, of course she's lovely, and when you started dating her, how much did you believe when you first met her? Did it take a while for you to come to terms with, like, this is a real thing, she really has this gift?
No, it really didn't take very long.
No?
It took long enough for me to learn.
He had to learn.
That I had to learn the cards, so, because she just blew my mind.
He said,
was it amazing?
Yeah, that it was hard for him to be with somebody who knew what he was thinking before he knew what he was thinking.
Well, I've certainly firsthand experienced it as well, but I think this is what humanity is sort of missing. I think that, you know, we need this. We need people like you to be able to intuitively guide us, and I think the world would be a much better place. I think things would operate a lot better. I think, you know, our government certainly would operate a lot better, and just people in general, because we're always looking for guidance, and we're always, you know, looking in, I think, the wrong places, and I think that if people open themselves more to looking for guidance from people like you, I think everything would be a lot better.
Thank you, and hopefully those of us in this business are filled with integrity and commitment, and not just a bunch of scam artists, you know, taking advantage of a public that is desperate for information.
Right.
Daryl, do you have any questions for us?
Yes, Pixie would like to know what her next week looks like.
Oh,
okay.
Boy, wow. Here's the thing, folks. It really helps if you ask a rather specific question, because then the cards are going to give you a more specific response. But I will do my best.
I guess we'll kind of see if she's going to have a really good week or a really bad week.
That we can do.
Or just okay. I need more okay weeks. I have like really great ones, and then I have really terrible ones, and then it balances itself out. Like, I just want to have like all right weeks. Like, we could for a little bit till, you know, Deb, you skyrocket, and, you know, we're just fabulous with our we're going to have our in-ground swimming pools, and then we're going to have, like, very attractive, like, man people serve us margaritas by the poolside.
I don't know if Daryl necessarily wants
Daryl's
to
on
board. A margarita by a man.
We'll get Daryl. Daryl, Daryl does. He has our company. You know, like we're entertaining, but I think in lots of bedazzled hats. I want a bedazzled hat when I'm when I'm wealthy.
Pixie, your next week looks like, as you were explaining, ups and downs and ins and outs, and some weeks are just like that. You, however, can take this as a lesson for yourself in terms of resiliency and flexibility and being able to go with the flow, which is not always so easy to do, especially those who are perfectionists, who are driven, say, by a schedule, that like all of their ducks in a row, that are just super organized people. I think every once in a while a monkey wrench thrown into those, well-laid plans is a great lesson for us all. So yes, I think you should expect comings and goings and changes and reschedules, but all in all, I think you will look back and think, wow, I handled that all very, very well. And I do believe that you will. I'm also seeing a couple of new folks coming into your life that seem to be of the man-person variety.
Hey.
This could be strictly a work-type situation, but I see them as key people in terms of your future. So if you are meeting any clients, or you are, what would else be an opportunity for her in a professional sense?
Meetings with like new business partners,
things like that. These cards are advising that they will become key players in your future, and they will be a reason for you to look back on this coming week and think, this was not a bad week at all.
So maybe Pixie also pick up like a good bottle of wine for the week. Would be great.
Good bottle of wine never hurts.
It doesn't. Space it out though, maybe over the week. Not all on one day. And callers, if you'd like to call in and get a reading from the lovely Miss Deborah, call in at 909-792-5222.
And remember, we handle just every sort of situation. We've had some very unusual ones, but by and large, they all tend to fall into certain categories.
You ready for another question?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Fern would like to know anything at all for me about my love life.
Fern wants to know about her love life. Anything.
I'd love to know if there's already someone that she's a bit dazzled with or crushing on, or what's the new
Maybe we can see if Fern will be dazzled by someone. Maybe she's with somebody, but maybe it's a bad person. We'll see. Fern has a fantastic name. I like the name Fern. I wish my name was like more unique. Like Lauren's okay, but I feel like Fern and Pixie, I feel like they sound like more fun than I do.
What would you name yourself if you could?
What would I name myself? I don't know. I don't think I'm fun, but maybe that's why I ended up with Lauren. But when I was in high school, I tried to get people. I wanted the nickname like Lolly for some reason.
That's cute.
It didn't.
Fun.
It was cute and fun, but I think that it never took off. Like I think I wrote into one teacher where they say, do you have a preferred name? And I put Lolly, and he kind of read it, and he was like, Lolly? That's ridiculous. All right, Lauren, we're gonna go with that for the year.
Fern, what I see here is you've got a lot of men around you. Look at them all, Lauren.
With a name like Fern, she's fun.
Who could help? But seriously, I just wonder if you're actually aware of how much opportunity, how much potential you have. You could literally have a different date with a different guy every night. Imagine not having to buy food anymore.
That would be
you
fantastic.
Be going out to dinner every night. But realistically, it's better to kind of downsize. The days of playing the field per se, I don't know. Maybe we've become a little bit more discriminating. We've got a lot more territory to cover in terms of dating, and matchmaking websites and the whole internet, in total. But for you, I am definitely seeing somebody coming along that isn't going to always present like, I want to see what the right word is. I'm thinking like challenge or an irritation or where can we go with this?
He's going to be, is it abrasive?
Somebody that always there's someone in your cards that has been a source of these more negative feelings, and actually has rubbed you the wrong way. They like to say things recklessly, and a lot of it is intended just to get your, what do you call it?
Your blood boiling.
Yes, exactly. Well, you have someone of a much kinder sort coming over the horizon that I think you are absolutely going to adore. So, while you may think right now, there's never going to be a compatible someone for me. Oh, yes, there is. So you got to stop thinking that way, because the more you project that energy to the universe where you're saying, there will never be, or I will never have, you know what the universe is thinking? Oh, she loves that she never, ever this or that. So here, let's send her some more.
Yeah.
So it mirrors what we feel. So what we want you to do is send out a more positive response from, say, your heart, your spirit, where you're saying, I will have that marriage I've always dreamed of. I will have that soulmate who will understand me and inspire me and love me. See, what you're putting out then is a strong commitment to a future that you truly want. Well,
Absolutely.
I hope that helps.
I hope that helps, Fern.
Because you will not believe a year from today how much your life has changed and in what a wonderful direction it has gone. So thank you so much for your question. Next time, call us. We love to talk to our reading recipients.
Absolutely. Next up, we have Nancy from California. How are you doing, Nancy?
I'm good. Thank you. Hi, ladies.
Hi, glad to hear from you.
Yes. So I'm calling because I am kind of putting myself out there to date, but I still keep like going back to a certain someone and comparing everybody else to that person. So I tell myself, let it go, let it go, let it go. And I just don't know why that person is still like front and center, I guess you could say. And I just want to know, what do you see in my future?
Okay, the first thing that I hear intuitively is there's still unfinished business between the two of you. And I'm sure that we will get more detailed insight as I put the cards up for you.
I kind of wondering, is this person that you kind of keep seeing yourself with, or you keep thinking about, is this the last person that really, you know, maybe you dated somebody after that, but is this the last person that you really thought was an impact?
Yeah, definitely. And then I think I have, in the past, I've been able to accept and let go of things and people, and it's just this particular person that I don't. And I don't understand it, because I usually can rationalize and get over somebody and accept it, but not this person.
Well, I can kind of, before, you know, while you're laying out the cards, I kind of can relate to that. And I think what happens is, you know, in our lifetime, you know, if you think back to your very first love, maybe it was in high school, and, you know, you thought he was the best person that you'd ever dated, and you weren't going to find somebody like that until, you know, maybe after high school, then you met somebody, and then he was the best, and you didn't think back to the high school person anymore.
What's amazing, as we get older, how much we do reflect back on that first love or that you know, romantic high school experience. It's like we're still in high school.
Yeah.
Doesn't it sort of feel that way sometimes?
Well, I would say, you know, probably my most recent kind of serious relationship was, in my mind, and it probably isn't, but, you know, I'd probably say, you know, he was young and he was fun and he made me feel great about myself, and it just wasn't like the right timing for either of us. But in my head, even right now, I'm just like, I miss him. I broke up with him. And, you know, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to have a relationship like that anymore. And I keep thinking about that. I think until I do meet someone who's better, not necessarily better, but our relationship is a little bit more well-rounded, I'm probably going to think the same thing. It's kind of like a restaurant. When you eat at a really good restaurant, then you eat at a better restaurant. No? Okay.
No, let's...
Sorry.
Well, Nancy, what I'm seeing here is definitely there is unfinished business between the two of you. And I really feel that this person, you brought this up, Lauren, there was a wrong timing involved. I'm not sure that the final chapter has been written between you and this special someone. I think that there's going to be a time in the not too distant future. But remember, timing is very relative. What I may consider not too distant future could mean within a year. The cards may feel it might be 5 to 10 years. So timing is its own universe.
Absolutely.
I feel that there's still a lot here. Now, does this resonate for you, Nancy?
Yes, I think that totally makes sense. But what do you do in the meantime, kind of thing? So I've been putting myself out there trying to date other people, but I still always go back to the idea of that special person. So
well, this is where you find yourself right now, is basically in a place where you have to decide, like on one hand, is it worth going out with these people, these, others that are simply not on my level, or I know already I don't feel the spark or the tingle, or I'm just pushing myself, or is it better on the other hand to just work on yourself and to just get to explore more about yourself and not have to fill a space that may not be completely empty at this point. Like I said, there's a lot of potential here, a lot of feeling on both sides. But the timing has to, the best things in our life happen in their own best way in time. We can try pushing and, it's like trying to stick a square peg in a round hole. I don't care how hard you try, it's just not going to work. So
Absolutely.
What I feel you would find the most harmony and peace for yourself would be to be Nancy's best friend. Be yourself. Find a place of solitude and of acceptance that there is still more to come between the two of you, and you will explore it when that time comes. And in the meantime, although I can't tell you that I see anyone special, perhaps you will encounter somebody that you will then think, hey, maybe I will turn in a new direction. But for right now, that's not, I just see that pushing yourself is only going to make you, very unsatisfied, feeling very unfulfilled. And it's, you know how it is, right?
Absolutely. You're just like, it's
You're
like having to go to McDonald's after going to a really fantastic steakhouse, and you're like, I know it's not as good.
After you've been to Ruth's Chris.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
well,
like,
thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, seriously, I would love for you to call back again. Let's watch this unfold and see where it's going to go. And if you do meet somebody that you seem interested in, well, we can do a reading on that and see what the potential is. But personally, I think the two of you that you've called to ask about this special someone, I think the two of you are meant for each other. And whether it takes 6 months, a year, 5 years, the time isn't going to matter because it's what's in the heart. And I think it's going to be pretty beautiful for the two of you.
Yay!
I like your reading. So Nancy, stay in touch, okay? We would love to hear from you again.
Okay, will do. Good night.
Oh, thank
night,
you, and
Nancy.
good night.
And we've got Patty from North Carolina. Patty, how are you doing, and what can we help you with?
Hi. Good evening, ladies. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I had called the show on about almost not quite a year ago, and I had a reading, and I was inquiring about a relationship that I was in. Well, the relationship had ended just recently, a couple weeks ago, and I really thought he was my soulmate. He was my best friend, and I just really enjoyed spending time with him. He was intelligent, good conversation, always spontaneous with doing things with me.
Sounds perfect.
But then we moved in together.
Oh. Okay, there's the rub right there. All right, and what happened?
Well, when you live with somebody, that's when you find out the real person, I want to say.
The skid marks in the underwear, definitely.
Oh, no.
You see those skid marks, this is the real deal. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. you do see what you're dealing with, the person.
Yes, yes. And I thought I could hang in there, and then I would have probably tried to stick it out a little bit longer, but honestly, with the issues he had, I know that I would be probably end up miserable.
Well, anytime you have to say about a relationship that I will stick it out, that's a really big red flag that you better not stick it out, that you have to thrust your life forward and move on smartly. So now okay, so are you wanting to know if there's somebody else? Or
I'm feeling like now I built a wall, and I'm at an age where I thought I'd never be by myself. I'd be settled down, and my personality, I seem to be the caregiver, and with every relationship I've been in, I've learned from them, but I don't think, I thought there would be more at this point as far as being settled down with somebody that I think is a soulmate. And I'm just wondering, is there eventually somebody out there, or where my life is going to be?
Okay, now first of all, I would like to say to you, I do feel this man was a soulmate. We have to always remember it's not necessarily always about romance and love and marriage. It's also about having a soulmate who comes along to push you, toward like making your own happiness and dreams come true. Someone to inspire you, somebody to
make you realize you're worthy of more too.
Exactly. Gosh, you're good at this. So in that sense, yes, I do feel, but it was not meant to be a lifelong soulmate situation. You actually learned discernment. This relationship, remember, you just told us that you learned a lot from all the other relationships, that you have a true caregiver's heart, and there comes a time when we can't always be trying to fix people or trying to make them into what we need them to be. You learned in this, you could have stuck it out, but you didn't. And that's where I think you've turned the corner. Now, what I'm perceiving in your cards is you said you've built a wall. Well, I like to think of that wall as being part of your own process of discernment. You could have found yourself a ton of people to get involved with and had your heart broken over and over and over again, or met loser after loser, and just to try and keep yourself from being alone. I know I've been there. Spent 4 years tackling being alone, and that I think is one of the hardest challenges in our entire lives, to be alone. So what I'm seeing here is you are actually in a process of growth. You are, Patty, going to find yourself, there's a big turning point coming for you. It's got a card of time attached to it, which is an event or an experience that's coming through space directly to you. You can ignore it. We often have referred to this as like a ball. It's flying through space. It's coming to you. If you want to ignore it, it'll just hit you right in the head. And you go, oh, gee, I should have been ready for that. But if you make yourself ready and you think this turn that I'm about to take, this new beginning, I'm going to be ready, and when that ball gets to me, I'm going to go, gotcha. And boy, will that be a huge empowering moment in your life. I am seeing somebody new coming into your life very, very soon. That's part of this big transformation for you. You will be letting that wall down. Daryl can tell you about walls. He had you were like Fort Knox with your walls.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he came to my door with a cup of coffee after I'd resisted, because remember, I got happy with my aloneness. When I opened the door, he said, "What happened, Daryl?"
My wall fell down.
In that instant, you have a fabulous, you're a caregiver of heart. You have another this special man coming into your life, he's also a caregiver, where you both have the compatibility of being of the suit of hearts. That is a wonderful, giving, caring, loving. It's like every good thing that a lot of the other suits just don't have.
It's a reciprocal caregiver relationship.
Truly reciprocal. See,
I
there's
have
a reason I have.
question for you.
Yes.
I have another question for you. About a month ago, about 2 months ago, every morning at 3:33, I would wake up. Every morning, not a minute before, not a minute later. 3:33, and it went on for several weeks.
Oh, well.
And then I finally said, okay, whoever is trying to get my attention, please just stop this, because I have to be up at 5.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, you were telling your angels, let me sleep, because those were your angels that were communicating to you. The number 3 is it's a number that characterizes creation. Like, for instance, the number 1 is unity. Number 2 is opposition, like male, female, yin, yang, and from the 2 comes 3, which is creation of a new life, or a new way of thinking, a new way of feeling. And that's what your angels were trying to deliver to you, was that procession, every single night. Go ahead.
And that pretty much is what you've seen in the cards too, creation and something new. And
yes, absolutely. Now, this new man coming into your life is first coming as a friend, and I see him around your home. And this is wonderful, because friendship is the best foundation there is for any type of lasting, permanent relationship. If you can be good friends, the rest will all fall into place.
Right. Right.
Okay, so yes, be prepared. You've got a wonderful future ahead of you. I feel that you're going to let the past is just going to fall away. You're going to say, I'm putting a period right there, and I am moving on smartly. And I'm sorry I'm talking so fast, but we're almost to the end of the show, and they're going to turn the lights out on us pretty soon here. So I just want to make sure.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate that. And I'll keep in touch.
Yeah. Yes, please do. And please tune in. And anytime you'd like us to further your reading with more clarity and more about the path in front of you, please call in.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I certainly will. Thank you so much, ladies. You have a great weekend.
Thank you. And
Thank you, Patty.
too. Thank you. Well, everybody, wow, I don't know where the time goes, Lauren.
Aw, it goes by fast because we're having fun.
I think so. And I have to tell all of you, we could not appreciate you more. Absolutely. We have no show without you. We don't come with the big script. We don't have everything all planned out. We basically wing it because we want it to be spontaneous and real. And you folks definitely bring us that. I want to thank you. Yes, go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to say stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have a continuation. I'm hoping our Dr. Tristan sends us another
Tristan,
letter.
Be in touch. We want to know more.
And if you have a letter you want us to read on the air, please send that too. And back to you, Deb.
And I want to wish you all a happy Father's Day to the father or the father figure in your lives.
Absolutely.
So don't forget, some of them are step-parents, neighbors, you name it. If there's a man who's been important to you in the form of being like a father, boy, honor him on Sunday. To all of you, we're going to look for you next week, and I hope that you will join us. Again, in the meantime, please remember the words of my grandmother who taught me this amazing method. My grandmother always said, to dream is to believe. Once you believe, all things are possible. And you know what? I think Grandma was right. So take care, everybody. We will see you next Friday. Love ya. Bye-bye.